back with another stream today. Pretty excited for today's stream because we have some new toys that we can play with. Zendikar Rising just uh, got released online earlier this week, and I haven't had time to play with any of the new cards, so this will be the first time. So we'll see how the new cards perform. I feel like the list is going to be mostly suboptimal. Kind of just want to try certain slots out. So, for example, I have 4 Lithoform Blight in the sideboard. This essentially just replaces Damping Spear. I think this is a card that would be really, really, really useful because it's that Damping Spear effect that takes our Tron opponents off actual Tron, like Damping Spear, but it cantrips. And the great thing about it is if they do end up dealing with it, like we can still bring it back with Luris and get that draw effect. And I think that draw effect is very, very, very powerful. Like the card is essentially Spreading Seas. Um, the bad thing about it is, unlike Spreading Seas, like they can make green mana and Nature's Claim their Lithoform Blight. But that being said, if they just have it all, they have it all, right? Like if they have uh, the Nature's Claim for the Lithoform Blight, it's not like the deck can't make green mana easily. The deck does. So if they have the Nature's Claim, they're just as more likely to kill Damping Sphere as is Lithoform Blight. We'll see how the deck runs. Like I feel like if this card ends up being pretty good, I might have some split with Fulminators just to have the land destruction against decks like Ad Nauseam, Field of the Dead decks, etc., etc. But I kind of want to just have the 4 just to make sure I draw one from the post board games, and then I could really see how it performs. Main deck wise, we have Maul of the Skyclaves. This is kind of Spider Space kind of innovated this card in his mono white taxes list, and I kind of want to try it out for ourselves in our own Stoneforge Mystic deck because with Field of the Dead being very, very popular in the meta, I like having both our sort of Feast and Famine and our second equipment be able to fight through, attack through the zombies. So this will fly over it, and this has protection. That being said, there's also a lot of situations where like we'll just be naked to a flyer just because we do not have lingering souls, or something like Storming Entity is kind of annoying a lot of the times, or something like Glorybringer where like if we have a Batter Skull equipped with a Maul, like Glorybringer just like stonewalls them, right? Roundsley, thank you for the sub again. Really, really, really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good weekend. Let me turn off the speakers. Sorry, that must have been really loud on your guys' end. Um, Another card that I'm testing is the Bala Ged Recovery. I put a poll in the Abzan Facebook group. I kind of wanted to just try out a flip land. I feel like the deck is mostly greedy, only running 22 lands. Our curve is kind of low, topping out a 3 with some equipment. I guess you can count Batter Skull. But I have always kind of wanted to have a 23rd land just for consistency's sake. So I'm trying this 23rd land out essentially, and just I don't know what else to cut. I feel like I'm already skimping on removal. I'm already skimping on the number of Scoozes. I can't cut any more Lilianas. I want 4 Stoneforge Mystic. I can't cut a Tarmogoyf, right? So I cut a Hex Drinker. I felt like that was the card that was easiest probably to replace. Still have one, but having this guy as I don't know, I kind of want the 3 mana 3/3 instead of this guy just because it's just a body. And there's a lot of Cling to Dust still in the meta, and that's why I kind of am a little hesitant on the Bala Ged Recovery. But just having another card that could bring back a Planeswalker, a discard spell, Luris, equipment, like that, like there were a lot of situations where like, oh, if I could just bring back a Luris, like if I had like an Unearth effect, like I would be able to take over the game. So this is, I think we'll just have to see how it goes. Hex Drinker wins me so many games, so like I really like 2. So this is kind of just a shot in the dark. I'm just gonna try it out. But that being said, this will be fun to see how versatile these flip lands really are going to perform in the deck. So yeah, those are just minor changes. I feel like I mean, I think the card that I'm really, really most looking forward to testing is the Maul of the Skyclaves. This is a card that we're gonna consistently have the option to have in our hand, so we'll see how well it performs. And I have a feeling it's gonna be. I don't know, I have a feeling it's gonna be great because just being able to go like turn 2 Goyf, turn 3 Maul, and just equip and attack just seems really really good. Because there's a lot of awkward situations where like we have a sword and we just it just feels so bad just playing it out and just we essentially like get time walk because like it doesn't really do anything. Um, and otherwise, like if we have like a scavenging ooze, right, like against Tron, where it's like a pretty crappy clock, just equip them all to it, and next thing you know, is the Scoos is um, uh, survives a bolt and just is actually a 4-minute clock at this point. So, how's it going, Basic Land Shark? Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. So yeah, those are the cards that I'm testing. I think I have the stream deck updated already, so if you guys wanna look at the deck list, you guys can look there. Other than that, let's try this out. Hopefully, the new cards can perform. Uh, Again, I'm really looking forward to the Maul. I don't know how much Tron will be in the meta post Horizons, just because that red, pretty much black and red both got essentially a spreading seas effect. And I wonder if Tron is kind of on the downtick just because there's a lot of people running the red one. And granted, the red one is better because it literally destroys the card, destroys the land. Um, but we'll see. I mean, hopefully. It is pretty bad. Opponent is on Luris. I'm gonna keep it though. I think there's a situation where I probably play the fetch and the bauble and don't do anything. And then wait until our opponent does something, and then we can bauble ourselves and see what we want. Because this could be anything. This could be baubles, it could be scales, this could be black red prowess. It's hard to say what deck we're up against. Ah, so you have a bauble plus fetch as well. Okay. Sitting back, happy to see what matchups you get. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting time. I feel like the meta's shaken up more than I personally thought it would be. Our Skull. I do not want a Power Skull. They targeted themselves. Interesting. Interesting. My window is not lined up. Interesting timing on their part. So we're against Death Shadow. So we do not want this Batch Skull. We're gonna get a Godless Shrine here. That's interesting timing on their end. Because now they are vulnerable to a Thoughtseize effect if we end up drawing one, which we don't, but it's okay because we just play Scavenging Ooze. It's not like our tempo is lost. They'll probably bolt or push the Scavenging Ooze. Oh, there's this update. Is it okay to discuss on other decks? Of course. The chat is welcome to all Magic discussions. I am all up for the chat being positive, constructive, anything you want to talk about. The floor is yours. I can see an argument for not playing the Scoos and holding it just because we know they're on a Luris deck. Hopefully they just play like an Abbot. Okay. Just so we can like Liliana them here. And their hand seems kind of weak. They bobble themselves, so the card that they draw is kind of bad. No talking about Tron. Thou shalt not talk about Tron. I'm gonna play Liliana plus on the planes, and then activate Bobble on their upkeep. Vectors, for example, there are settlers that caught my base from Lurks on Earth. Yeah, it's a pretty cool deck. The deck was pretty popular for a quick second, and then like blue-red prowess kind of just took over, and that deck got a little more popular for some reason, which is interesting. I'm gonna bolt my Lilion. Oh, they're gonna cling. Okay, sure. John, I haven't seen you a while in my stream. Hopefully you're doing well yourself. I know you've been active on my Twitter, but I know I don't think I've caught you on my stream in a while, so hope you're doing well. Opponent could be flooding. They could also just have a bunch of removal in hand. Oh, I missed Dark Confidant, I swear. Croxa's good. Croxa's very good for them. Pretty bad for us, though. Seal Fire. Probably, depending on what they do, if they just play Croxa, I might just have to discard this trophy just so I ensure I have a land drop. Because, like, we're going to definitely plus this Leona, right? So, yeah, I kind of want to just pitch this trophy. Just to save the 3 life, and we're going to plus this Leona anyway, right? So, we know they have a Lurrus in the companion still. Tarmogoyf's a great draw. Do I want to keep plussing here? It's like, do I want to discard this land to Liliana, or do we want to just... I could also just do nothing with Liliana, too. Which honestly seems fine. Because if they escape Croxa here, we can just push it. And then we have like a Tarmogoyf to like protect it. So we're playing this Tarmogoyf for sure. It's just a matter of, do I want to plus this Liliana? I feel like I want the mana. Because they discarded lands to the Liliana before. I think it's safe just to hold off and pass a turn. I mean, if they are, yeah, no, I don't know. If they unearth the Croxa, I don't think that does anything. I think they save the unearth for Lurrus. That sucks. So we're gonna pop the Liliana with the seal. Just honestly fine. Because then our Goyf just gets humongo. Hopefully we draw a threat. So we can keep the pressure on. Cool. It's funny how our Tarmogoyf's bigger than their Croc somehow. That was a great draw. Is it though, actually? Because they can just escape the Croxa. They can just escape the Cruxa and just take whatever we have, right? So it's like I kind of want to just like whatever I fetch, like if I fetch an equipment, it forces them to escape the Cruxa, right? So I think I just get Feast Famine. I could also just get Batterskull, because Batterskull just isn't doing anything. Like I don't, so like I want to actually top deck any like a Maul or a Sword, but I don't want to top deck a Batterskull because I don't have mana to cast it. I mean, I could flash it in, but like this Stoneforge could also just not be long for this world, so I'm just gonna get this Batterskull, and then kind of force them to escape Proxa, and that can just attack through with it. But I definitely don't want to get Feast and Famine, because if their turn is just escape Croxa, I can just flash in Feast and Famine and equipment. So yeah, so this is going okay. And then fetching an equipment also just saves us 3 life as well. Okay. Yep. Swiss Fear Share. That sucks. Because now our Goyf is not big enough to fight through a Croxa. So we can just play as land, as it doesn't affect. Maybe it was correct to discard the Triome with Liliana like two, 3 turns ago. Just to have the Liliana out of. Like, I saw the seal. So that means. So what would be scary is if they had 3 mana. Sorry, another land so you can go Lurrus. Put the Lurrus into the hand from the command zone, and then play Lurrus and then get the ball back. That's the line where we start just losing. But luckily they did not. Like, them drawing a land is actually very good for them. So they can bring the Lurrus back. Yep, so they have Lurrus in hand. I think I take this. And then with Bolt, like, my Tarmogoyf is the path of victory here. So now we're just flooding. Yep, we did save 3 life. But I think our life total is high enough to where that's kind of negligible at this point. Because now if they have any land, we just lose. I can see them also. Okay, so they had the push. Okay, well that sucks. So we just drew 3 lands in a row, and they drew gasoline, essentially. Oh, yep. I think this is where we just lose. Kill 6/9. 12. We go to 5. Kind of annoying. Just believe in yourself. Can't believe in not just drawing 3 lands in a row though. That was unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? Opponent sequencing is really weird too. I guess they could play Bobble, like they could draw Bobble. So we are just dead, I think. I think you're just dead. Of course. Of course. Okay. So Kai'Sgao seems pretty good. Spellbomb Explosive seems pretty decent. Just be able to wipe board. I'm kind of on Veil of Summer because they have a lot of like red removal spells, and they have some number of push, but for our Veil to kind of align, it's kind of iffy. I think I board out the X Drinker just because we did see a Lovidar at the end of the game, so that's really good information for us. Just got the 3 the 3 Thoughtseizes. Probably keep the 3 Inquisitions though. Everything in their deck can be taken by Inquisition just based on them having Lurse. Then from there, maybe just only bring in 1 Engineer Explosives. Maybe just 1. I think I'm okay with just 1 Engineer Explosives. The thing is, do I bring in Veil? And I think I don't want Veil, surprisingly, in this matchup. Because like the stars kind of have to align for this Veil to be really, really, really good. Because like I said, they're more red based. Let's just give this a whirl. Oh, that's also another change. I think I forgot to mention at the beginning of the stream where I added Veil of Summer back in just because Mill did win the Modern Challenge. So Veil is really, really good against that deck for obvious reasons. So this is kind of an interesting choice where I could either hold up Fatal Push for a turn 1 Swiss Sphere or play a Triome. And I think I want to just hold up Fatal Push for a Swiss Sphere. I kind of have to be ahead. And I'm more than likely not going to cast this Lurist on turn 3. Unless we draw a Bobble. In which case I get punished for this. But I think I want to get ahead on this board. Like I want to be able to cast a Stoneforge Mystic on turn 2. And not be afraid of the board. And we drew an untapped land, so we're perfectly fine there. I'm curious if I should get a Batterskull or a sword. We did see K Command, so kind of want to just get a Batterskull just because it turns all of our like lands online. This Lurus is probably gonna die, so I kind of want to just get a Batterskull. I think. Did not like it too much in Genocide, but I think it might be needed now. Yeah, I haven't actually, like, when I first started running Veil of Summer, I started to really like it, but I played it when I was on Gruul for a while, and Veil of Summer is really, really good in Gruul just because you can protect your Blood Moons and Colossuses from, like, Aether Gusts. Not on the stack, but just when it's in play, just knowing that you can easily protect it is really, really nice. But in these kind of mid-range decks, they're kind of iffy. Like, the stars do kind of have to align more than anything. Cool. You got an Arcanist. Cool card. So now we can push this. I'll just do it now. And then just Wait. If they like play land and pass, and they're just 100% are on Kolaghan's command, they are 100% on Kolaghan's command. So at this point, I am not going to play the Batterskull in right now. I drew the Inquisition, which is perfecto. So we're just going to do that. Make them spend their Kolaghan's command, and then we can. Okay. Unearth. Yeah, I think I just take the Kolaghan's command. It's a card that is the 2-for-1. So then, like, we just pretty much made them have really bad tempo. And then, like, and then they can kill a Stoneforge Mystic, and the next turn we can lure a Stoneforge Mystic back. And that's gonna be absolute gasoline. And then, like, we just 2-for-1 them here, because then they have to spend the Rampage on the Batterskull, and then, and like, it wastes the whole, like, if they do that, then they waste the whole turn too. So, like, this is really good for us. Okay. Sure. I'll pitch the land, I think. And then if they unearth the Kroxa, that's kind of unfortunate, but... Okay. And this guy's just going to do absolute work here. Where we're going to make them sack and exile the yard. Sack a creature, exile each opponent's graveyard. And just destroy them here. Attack with Batterskull. Play the Spell Bomb. So now they're kind of have to Rampage the Batterskull, right? And then hopefully we draw an untapped land and we can Luris plus Stoneforge. They don't Rampage the Batterskull. That's interesting. It's interesting. Okay. Perfect. Attack. And then this Rampage, it's sack a creature, so like I can just sack the Stoneforge Mystic, like whatever. So now our Luris can start taking over the game, which is going to be very, very good. The value. Get a sword. Fire and Ice would be a lot better in this position. Obviously, just because they have mono red creatures. I was thinking of having a Sword and Fire and Ice in the sideboard for this specific situation, but I figured like I'd rather just have a Batter Skull. I smell a Kolaghan's Command. I think I just attack with this Batter Skull. Like they didn't play this, so well, I guess either mode kind of is there just doesn't do anything. So I think we just attack with this Batter Skull, and then just if we need to, we can return this Batter Skull and activate Stoneforge Mystic. And if they push the Germ, sure, whatever. Sure. I was thinking about exiling their graveyard and then like bringing it back with Spell Bomb, but I feel like they would have just done this in response anyway. So that is why I picked this line. Because another line I could have just activated, like I could try to get value out of this Lurrus, but I think I'd rather just I feel like this is just the line that deals with our opponent's stuff a little bit better, or plays around our opponent's stuff a little bit better. Sure. This Rampage is kind of not that great. Targeting us. What do we have, opponent? Something good? Hopefully it's something good. Sack a creature. I'm going to put this Batter Skull in. And then sack this Stoneforge Mystic. And then if they attack with both, I am taking everything. And hope they don't have a Fatal Push. If they have a Fatal Push, they would just push this now and attack. So then my turn, I would just play this sword, equip the Germ, and attack. Totally taking this. So this kind of signifies that they don't have anything in hand at instant speed. I mean, they could also just block. And they have to draw something here. Okay. Oops. Do not want to do that. Play the sword. Equip here. Don't push it. No, they have Fatal Push. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Okay, so we're gonna bobble on their upkeep. I have a feeling they drew that push off that bobble. Like they had to. They would have. Otherwise, they would attack the Sphere. That's just very unfortunate for us. Blackleaf Cliffs is good for us. Just a blink. And now they can attack. We're gonna take a crap ton of damage here. Yep. sure. We are in trouble. We are in trouble. Okay. Engineered explosives would be pretty good. I think I boarded it in 1, right? Yeah, I boarded it in 1. Engineered explosives would be good because we can kill everything on 2. And then this is only have a Swiss sphere. This does nothing. I guess I can crack here. Still have mana to play path if I need to, or crack this. I think I need to crack this now. Oh my god. That's nothing. I kind of need to replay Batterskull, so I might have to bounce it this turn. So I might have to like exile. Maybe I should just crack this, just so they don't have, they can't cling in response. Maybe that might have been better. Yeah, so they're gonna just cling here, probably. So yeah, I probably should have just cracked this on my turn. Oh crap, I did not want to do that. I guess it doesn't matter. Do I want them to draw a card? I think I just have to do this. Yeah, I should have just done this on my turn. I think it just takes 6. Then I have to play Batterskull, and then I can hold a path. Oh no. I wonder if this game would have been different if this was a Fire and Ice. Because I think there was a window where I could have just played this. Okay. Cling. That is fine. That is fine. Hopefully they have nothing in hand, and we have a shot here. Yeah. Sure. So if they have Bolt, we're just dead anyway. They have Dart. That doesn't do anything. So 8. So if we could play around. It's like, what are the chances of them having if they have a Bolt or a Dart, we're dead anyway, right? So I think we just block here. We could either block a Swiss Sphere or we could block an Arcanist, right? Any spell, if they'll block a Swiss Sphere, literally if they have any spell, we just lose. So it kind of doesn't matter where we block because we're just going to path one of them. It's just like, what do they do if they make a mistake? So I guess we should just block here just to ensure that we this Battle Skull dies for some whatever god awful reason. Because if we block the Swiss Sphere, any spell is lethal anyway, right? So it goes 3. Yeah, so we need to do this. And then we'll path the Abbot. It's kind of cool they changed the little like F6 symbol. It's a little swirly thing. I don't know if you guys can see that right here. Oh. So do we just win? Does this Maul get there? Oh my god, the Maul got there. I mean, the Sword of Fire and Ice would have done just as well, but okay, okay, not bad, not bad. Batter Skull. Excuse me. Wow, that was a pretty intense game. Not gonna lie. Maybe I don't want this card. It's just so clunky. Maybe I just want explosives over it. Like if I'm gonna have a clunky card, I might as well just have explosives, right? Do you think Swords is too powerful modern? Probably not. I don't think these reactive spells are going to be too good for modern just because of how powerful the threats are. Like, you just get so much value off of Uro. Like, as long as Uro stays legal, Swords of Plowshares is fine. Just because, like, yeah, you can have a card that's a catch-all, but like they gain 3 life plus 6, so they gain 9 life in that exchange and drew a card and ramped. So like all these reactive spells are never going to be too good as long as Uro is legal, right? Like because you just get value immediately once it's in play. So like the damage has already been done. That's why even against like Uro decks, like I actually board out all the fatal pushes because like by the time it hits the board, like you're kind of screwed. The way you interact with Uro is really you just have to exile it from the graveyard to minimize the amount of value they get. Because once it hits the graveyard, once it hits the battlefield, you're like screwed. I mean, you could swords it when you cast it on 3 and not escape it, but still it's still pretty bad. Look how far path is fallen. It feels like my needs 1 minute exile. I mean, I would really, really, really appreciate a swords like in modern. I personally would love swords and plowshares in modern. Is it too good for modern? I personally don't believe so, but maybe I'm the wrong person to ask because obviously I'm the person that's been advocating for white stuff to get good shit for the longest time. And Luris kind of counts, not really. Stoneforge Mystic has been a blessing for sure, so we'll see. So, seeing how we haven't seen a basic swamp all game, I'm assuming we don't really have to play around Blood Moon, is my assumption. So I'm gonna ball myself. Engineer Explosives. I think I want that card. So I'll play the Windswept Teeth. We haven't seen any discard spells either, so I feel like this is pretty safe to just bobble on my turn. Wow. Looks like they're just playing super reactive, I see. So what's your next card? Another Engineered Explosives. I don't think we want the second one, so let's just get a Triome. I kind of want to just play around Blood Moon just in case. So I'll just get a Forest here. And it's just a matter, do I want to play Tarmogoyf or Stoneforge Mystic? And they just have mana up. I might just play Tarmogoyf just in case if it has to eat a bolt. It doesn't die to a bolt. Okay. So pushes down. Have it. Excuse me. Croxlaw. So played Swamp, which is interesting. That's actually kind of nice. Oh, okay. They drew the ball. Okay. That's actually kind of nice for us because we can Liliana them, and then we don't have to worry about Liliana dying. Like, they have to waste mana on their turn to deal with the bauble. Oh my god, we just explosives flooded here. Which is fine. A land off the top would be beautiful, because then we can Stoneforge and Tarmogoyf. Are you just getting a companion? Okay. I guess we just plus on this and discard the explosives. Discarded a land. I guess we get Stoneforge Mystic. Just so we can get a sword. Bolt the Liliana. Interesting. So now they can Lurse plus Bauble if they need to. Would really like a land off the top, so then we can, if they don't kill the Stoneforge Mystic, we can flash in Batterskull and trophy their Lurus. Sure. We really need to land off the top. Seeing as how they didn't kill the Stoneforge Mystic. Land. Land. Land, 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 land. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we need to trophy this now. Our opponent is also very much behind on time. They have 2 minutes. Swiss Sphere, sure. It'll push the Stoneforge Mystic. That's fine. So we get a Batterskull in play. Didn't expect the Batterskull, huh? I don't want to get blown out by a Fatal Push. I'm just going to play Goyf plus Sword here. That 2 life is pretty clutch. I'll play Goyf. And I will play Sword of Feast and Famine. And pass a turn. Take the Veil. Got it. Cling the Veil. Sacred Foundry. Wonder what the white is for. That's interesting. Go up to Tarmogoyf. Play the Scavenging Ooze. We have the most use for mana, and then if we get a sword trigger, we can eat something with the Scavenging Ooze. Should have played around that. I should have kept mana up to bring back Batterskull. That's unfortunate. Doesn't matter though, hopefully not. I'll eat the Cling now. There's 1 Cling. Eat it now so they can't escape anything and they don't get the extra draw. They still have to deal with 2 creatures. One's gonna be pretty big. Yay. There you go. That's what we like to see. That is what we like to see. No new cards. I mean, Maul technically won us the game, but like a sword would have done the same. But that felt pretty good. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick, and I will be right back. Give me just a second. I think that's the thing about this deck is we drew. I forget which game it was. It was game 2 or 3, but we like naturally drew the Maul, and we didn't have a creature in play, and it kind of just didn't do anything. That's kind of what I fear with my Abzan Lurrus deck is like there aren't that many creatures. Like Spider Space runs mono weight taxes, and like that deck has like a jillion creatures in it. Our deck doesn't have that many creatures, so like this kind of more often than not could just not do anything. So it'll be interesting to see with a bigger sample set how well the evasion is, how much the evasion is relevant. Um, but I think that was on paper one of those things I did worry about is if we just didn't have a creature and we just naturally drew it, like at least a sword you can kind of just play it out, and like equip for 2 isn't that big of a cost, but double white and 4 mana, A, that's a lot of mana, and B, double white is actually very, very difficult to have in this deck. So we'll see how it goes, but I feel like the Maul is kind of a high ceiling, low floor kind of deal. So we've seen a case where it won the game, but it also could have been a Sophie. But there's also a situation where it kind of didn't do anything. But that's kind of the case of equipment anyway. Like if you don't have a creature, it does nothing. So it's not like that downside is that much more different than a Sword and Fire and Ice. Because if you don't have any creatures in play and you naturally draw Sword and Fire and Ice, like that doesn't do anything, right? So, then that being said, like having a card that gave protection from red didn't matter too much. Daryl Ayers. It's probably an amulet, probably. This hand is ass. Absolutely. This was a 3-mana 3/3. If it was the elephant instead of this, I think this hand would have been a lot better. But I think we have to keep this. I'm assuming Daryl Ayers. He's a known amulet player from what I've noticed, so. I think I might just go Overgrown Tomb, just to conceal that we're on Abzan. We kind of need a threat, which is kind of why I kind of want this to be the 3-9 3/3. Oh, we're against Death Shadow. With a new toy. These are just take the Scourge. This is good. This is the new Death Shadow essentially. Replaces Tarmogoyf. Poor Tarmogoyf. Rip. Interesting to see how well this lines up. We kind of need more removal. This was a Hex Shrinker, maybe things would be a little different. I kind of wish this was a 3-mana 3/3. the Kazandu whatever. Kazandu Mammoth. Sorry, not Elephant Mammoth. I was kind of debating between this card and the Regrowth. So, sure. So, 3 out of 4 cards. Fatal Push would be great. Path is not that great. So we're just going to ramp our opponent into an insane amount of mana. Yeah, I agree. It's just I feel like having another threat is kind of nice. That being said, being able to rebuy a path 2 turns from now seems pretty decent here. Can I die? Probably not. I think I just trophy one of these. I don't think I'm gonna go all in on this Swiss Sphere. I'll have to do the math though. Maybe it was incorrect to time on this, but oh, they have double growth? Gross. Oh, we just die. Wow. And that was a mistake. I didn't think they had double growth. That's absurd. Okay. That was good. I just got super punished for that. I should have been a little more patient. Should have been a little more patient for Xaxes. Wow. Okay. I guess we just bring in more removal. Like we're out the Thought Seizes probably. Did not play around the second mutagenic. I should have just taken it. That was... Yeah, I should have just taken it. Like the 2 damage isn't anything. We can trophy, and then we can path the other one, and then we can Bala Ged recovery the other path, and then we can kind of start taking over. Yeah, that was just a big mistake on my part. Like I think I got greedy with that trophy, which is unfortunate. That was just unfortunate. Was that turn 2? He died on turn 2. That was absurd. Threw a discard spell and a trophy. Good game, opponent. Good game. Opponent's like Marsh Flats. We had that game too. That's pretty frustrating. We could have just taken the 2. And the recovery would have shined there too. Like it was just a 3-mana regrowth. That would have been really good there. Discard spell. I'm gonna get Triome and then pass the turn. Maybe I should have boarded in Veil, knowing they have Thoughtseize, but I think that's a little too loose. I just have all these infinite removal spells. Nice. Take the path. Which kind of makes sense because it's the most mana efficient card. I wonder if our opponent's also running Veil Summer. That's what I want to know. Turn off auto yields, just in case their opponent does something fishy that I want to interact with. Wow, the combo. Sure. If I draw a threat, I don't want a trophy here. I think I just do. I put the 23rd land in and I just start drawing infinite lands is what the memo is apparently. I'm starting to wonder like if decay is better than trophy. Please, for the love of God, give me engineer explosives. Hooting mandrills. Explosives, please. Technically not dead. But we're drawing all the lands. Could trophy the Death Shadow now to play around Veil somewhere. But so they know about this trophy. We have to do this, and then if they have become immense, we're just dead. Yep. So we're not dead, but we are dead. Because we don't have any outs to 2 threats. Oh, no, now we're dead. Wow. Mega yikes. Pew, pew, yep. That sucks. I'm a little bit annoyed by that game 1. That I just decided to just insta-die. I didn't expect the second mutagenic, but maybe I should have. Because I feel like taking the 2 is just like negligible compared to just literally dying. Maybe I should have just thought about that part, which is kind of annoying. What are you gonna do? Shake it off, play the next round? I keep playing against this guy. This guy was on Jeskai. Like Jeskai Stoneblade, and it's always very, very good games, but I always pair against this guy. Literally. Every time. I wonder if he's on the same deck. He's probably, our opponent's probably thinking the same thing. Delver. No Delver. Excuse me. Maul does nothing. Nurturing Peatland. I think I'm gonna get basic swamp here. Kinda want a threat, so I'm gonna bobble that on upkeep. So they bottom both with Serum Visions. I'm assuming they're looking for lands because they led with the Fire Islet. What are you gonna do? Keep looking good playing Abzan. I'm trying my best, Andrew. I'm trying my best. Brazen Borrower. Interesting. Second Lyris is good. Cool. Hopefully we draw land. I think I want an Inquisition here. Not lead on Tarmogoyf. Mantis Rider. I feel like I want to take the Borrower just because it. They also just take the Rider because it's the highest upside, but it doesn't. They don't have a white source for it. They just take the Borrower because it's the only sense of interaction. Yeah, just do that. I'll pass the turn. Or gets rid of Petty Theft. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, it's the only sense of form of interaction. If they Sprite Dragon, it's like sure. It's not that fast of a clock. And then like we can actually crack back with this Tarmogoyf, which is pretty absurd. Of course, we don't draw a third land though. Second Sprite Dragon. Land. Land. Okay. Yep. And that Fire Islet's actually makes our Tarmogoyf a 1-turn clock here. Yep. So they're kind of in a bind right now. I guess Lyris Engine isn't actually that, yeah. Because now they kind of need like a land off the top, or now they just are in chump blocking duty. What's gonna be great is if I draw another land, like this Maul is actually gonna be very, very, very good. But I might not even do it this turn. If I draw a land, I might just play Lyris, get a bauble back. They bottom both. They drew the Hollow Fountain. So they're debating if they're shocking. They are shocking. Lightning Helix. So they are definitely trying the race. Oh, for the love of God, please be an untapped land. Please let this Maul be for the win. Yes! Yeah, baby, let's go! Let's go! For the win. Our opponent's like, what the fuck is this card? No, they had Force? Are you kidding me? Oh no! Oh. Wow, GG. GG, opponent. Wow. That's That's unbelievable. They drew Helix into Force after they bottomed twice with Serum Visions both times. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. If it wasn't for Bala Ged, you wouldn't have. I guess you could put it that way. Oh, Christ. So we died on turn 2 the second round, and our opponent just drew very hot the next round. We're just not having any very fortunate draws. That is for sure. That is unbelievable. I mean, they board out forces. I've played against this opponent. It's like Sprite Dragon, Mantis Rider, like Stoneforge Mystic. They don't actually have that many blue spells. Like, I don't think they even have like Jace or Cryptic or anything. They have like Geist of Saint Draft and like, yeah, they have Mantis. Or like like I said, I played against this opponent like 3 or 4 times, and he's always on Jeskai Stoneblade. This is the first time we see. No, I saw Mantis Rider one game. I did see Mantis Rider, but I think that opponent is like on like maybe 2 or something. Yeah, it's this is literally like the Jeskai version of me, where this guy just jabs Jeskai all the time, which I respect. Which I respect a lot. I mean, I could see a Veil over Sword, just because the Sword doesn't really do anything. It is definitely a sweet deck. It's just unfortunate that we keep getting paired against each other. Sure. Kill all the Sprite Dragons. Much respect for the opponent, no doubt. No doubt. How are the Blights treating you? I have not played a Blight yet. I haven't played against any Tron or Big Mana. That was a very good draw. Because now our Tarmogoyf is out of bolt range. I'm going to save some life and get basic plays. That fetch was so good for us. God, I can't believe they have the Force for a Maul. Why can't we just have it for once? So unfortunate. Switch his attack. If they borrow us, like, sure, whatever. If they double bolt. Double bolt would be absurd. Path. Sure. I'll get a forest. Guess I could play the Peatland plus the Leona. Discard the fetch. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they literally drew perfect. Like, they drew Helix to go buff exactly lethal, and then they had Force plus blue card. Like, they literally needed to draw those sequence of spells in that order to win that game. Can't believe it. So the first two standard versions they bottom. So that means the next card that they drew is absolute gasoline. And then they top with the standard versions. So I kind of don't want to plus with this Liliana. Play the Scavenging Ooze. Need a Delver. I'll pitch the land again. Okay. Hopefully they have like Sprite Dragging instead of Mantis Rider. That'd be very good. Oh, they just Helix, sure. Guess we just attack, see where the last card was. So we just play this in plus? And whatever the last card is not... Oh, they want to keep the last card that desperately. Okay. They kept Geist. So now this... Yeah, but I'm surprised that they did that. Because it just gets eaten. I don't think I play this land. I think I want to regrow. Path. Guess we should just attack again. And then we plus the Liliana. Sure. I guess we can crack the Peatland first, just to see what we want to do. Because like if we draw a Tarmogoyf for something, we want to play it, or a Stoneforge Mystic. Engineered Explosives. I think we can pitch the Explosives here. Spell Pierce, interesting. Hex Trigger would be very good here. Guess I just plus pitch this. Just to get my Liliana bolt range. And then now if I draw anything like another removal spell, I can just sit back and not plus this. I'm going to end a turn cycle. The Triumph of Abundance doesn't do anything. I think now at this point we just want action. Sleight of hand. Sure. Just have all the removal in our hand. So we're back in the same spot as last turn, so we're just gonna hang tight a little bit. And this is where I talk about where like Veil doesn't really do anything against their deck. Okay. I'm gonna keep the Godless Shrine just to keep if I want to play it, or I can just pitch it next turn. Interesting. I think it's worth just playing this Liliana out. Pass a turn, trophy the borrower. Maybe you don't triple trophy and go back to double X. I mean, I like the triple trophy, but maybe the meta is just so hostile to big mana. Oh my goodness gracious. I guess I have to trade my Liliana for the Spike Dragon now. So this Veil does nothing. Oh my god. Well, like I said, that's why I don't like Veil in this matchup. Please Fatal Push. Please Fatal Push. Please Fatal Push. We're gonna die to this Mana Strider. Oh my god, they have double Mana Strider? So now we need explosives, which already pitched one of them. This is why I don't like Veil in the deck. Wow, they just ripped Bolt. Mantis Rider, Bolt. That's absurd. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And then we're just having like these changes that we made to the deck, like cutting the Hexdrinker for a Bala was not. That just cost us the game because we would have had a Hexdrinker and just had our opponent was Hellbent and we just have a protection from everything. Like we would have easily won that game if that had been Hexdrinker. So like that's just something that we're just gonna not have in the deck anymore. Like I just want Hexdrinker. Easy change. Put a Mold to 5. Put a Mold to 4. What's that? No. Huh? Oh. How much did you drink? Why? Okay. Okay. That's not good, babe. So they're Walking Ballista Forest. How's it going, Poison Lee? Hope you're having a good day. This is my 4th match. Like, we just get the Goyf down and just I think I fetch, get a temple card in. If somebody Goyf is big. And the next turn I can do Stoneforge Mystic. I think that's what I want to do. I think that saves me the most life out of my mana base in the long run. So our Tron opponent just mulliganed Oblivion. So I mean, they could cycle with Chromatic Sphere and then. Okay. Hit the tower. So they probably have a payoff now. So at least we can see how good Lithoform Blight's going to be. Because I'm going to have 4 brought in. We're going to get Sword of Feast and... Do we want Sword of Feast and or do we want the Maul just to attack? We want the Maul just to get aggro? Like, they're already almost hellbent at this point. No, I think we get the sword still. Yep, this Maul is a new spice. It would have won the game if our opponent didn't have force plus like after botting Serum Visions twice. Like, they bought on both cards of Serum Visions and they just drew force plus blue card to counter it. It would have won us the game last round otherwise. Do I just go for the Maul? I think I do. And then next turn we just like trophy plus Maul them. And then like if they want to kill the Stoneforge Mystic, like sure. That doesn't stop us from just getting in there. See, that was just perfect because then they're gonna scry, get the mine, and then if their last card's a payoff, like it doesn't matter. I'm gonna ball myself. Luris. I guess they're gonna have the Luris, I guess. Okay. Let me trophy the land. I guess I should have done that first, because then the goalie's a little bit bigger. Hopefully it's not relevant. Okay, they had Tron. Okay. They're gonna kill my Stoneforge Mystic. So they could go natural Tron, which would be very, very bad for us. But I think we just still play this Luris out. Play Bobble. If they go exactly like mine into Ugin or something, I'm gonna be pretty upset. You gonna come on camera? Come here. Show off your shirt.
No.
Show off your shirt. Oh my god. Why is it embarrassing? What's it say again? 30 in quarantine or whatever?
30.
Yeah. So we just cut the pushes. Got the scoos. All the discards good. Maul was kind of okay. Honestly, it wasn't that great. I think the sword, at the end of the day, the sword would have just been better. I'm missing the second Hextricker so much right now. It's just so good in the deck with Laris. Like, I do not like this card at all. Like, this is quickly going to get cut for the Hextricker. Testing Blight. Yep. I have 4. So we'll see how good they are. I mean, this is why I have 4, just to see how good it is. If they have Veil of Summer, it's going to be very, very bad for us. It's another reason why the red one is just better, because, like, you can forget what it's called, but, like, the one where you can just, it destroys the land. It's like it's essentially an Assassin's Trophy that draws a card. And, like, the red one is just so much better, obviously, because it destroys it. So, like, if they, like, have Blast Zone and destroy all the blights, the Tron just comes online. Versus, like, if you play the red one, they fetch basics, and the Blast Zone doesn't really do anything to turn Tron back on. Cleansing Fire, yeah. So, like, this card is way worse than that card. Also, on the top of the fact that, like, this fixes their mana too. So, like, obviously they fetch basic forest off of the Cleansing Fire, but, like, against, like, this is also just gives them green mana permanently, on top of, like, having that effect of just, like, if they just Nature's Claim it, then the Tron just turns back on instantly. So that's kind of something to watch out for, but it is what it is. I might just cut this card. Like, this card's probably better with Fulminant Animate just because you can recur it, but, like, the amount of Fulminant Animations that I get more, I'm testing 4 of these guys. So. Alright. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Blight. It's pretty good. Okay. Come here. Show off your shirt.
Oh, okay.
Come here.
I'm not gonna.
It's okay. Come here. Show off your shirt. I guess I just bobble them just to see what they're gonna. They have Sylvan Scrying, so they're kind of set up. I guess we just take Sylvan Scrying because we're gonna take them off 1 Tron. How have I liked Maul? So let me pull up my screenshot spider. What'd they do? They played tower. They reeled mine. Okay. Wait, did I just pass a turn? Oh my god, I'm not even paying attention. I just, like, passed the turn because I didn't realize it was my turn. Oh, that's so frustrating. Because I'm, like, trying to find the screenshot for Spider. That's very annoying. So like here, our opponent's at 11, and we have 2 5/6 Glyphs. They play a Maul for the win, and they have exactly 4 plus blue card, which is absurd. They get Blast Zone. Oh, what's up? That's really annoying. Because now we have to go to... I guess we get mine here. So annoying. So, like, this Maul would have won the game literally here, but, like, they had the force. And so, and then game 1 against Tron, like, we could have either fetched the Maul or played Sword and Feast and Famine. Maybe I'd have been better to Trophy. I guess we'll see. So then, like, we fetched for the Maul instead, and then the Maul didn't change the clock too much. Well, this game would have been a lot different because we could have been able to Stoneforge Mystic and Assassin's Trophy next turn. Umag's good. Because now they're gonna Blast Zone, probably. Play the Mine, right? So we don't know. They have one unknown card, which is a card that they drew a little mob, so they have one unknown card since. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's actually, I think that's probably one of the most relevant parts of Maul, is just like Field of Dead is just so popular right now, so it's like having the third equipment being able to just fly over the zombie tokens seems pretty good. So they have Tron. I guess I should just trophy the Blast Zone here. I should have waited on the Blooming Marsh, because then I guess I could have won myself to playing Stoneforge Mystic, but then they're just so incentivized on upping this to 2. Because they're missing Power Plant from whatever there's in their hand. So they play the Tower. I think I trophy the Power Plant. I don't think I bother with the Blast Zone at this point. So I think here I just play Stoneforge Mystic and pass. Or I could just play Luris and bring back Bauble and just start going off on that engine, and then crack the Lithoform Blight. I think that's actually better. I think that's the most mana efficient. They're like, hold on, I'm gonna crack this on 3. That's really funny. Forest. That's fine. Because the next turn we can Stoneforge Mystic plus Kasali Pride Mage. Lithoform Blight is cute. Are they gonna play Mine? If they play Mine, or they play the other tower. Okay. Guess we just play out our hand. I don't think there's a point in playing Blight right now. Get the sword. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully they don't have Wormcoil. Even then, we have Kasali Pride Mage. I really like the Blight just because it cantrips. So here we could play Sophie, equip Sophie, Blight the other mine, and then untap and then play Batterskull. That seems pretty sweet. Feast and Famine over Fulminator. I don't understand your question, Last God. Would you mind clarifying? I think I don't understand your question. Blight over Safe Fulminator. Like Blight cantrips, which is also really good, and just being able to bring back with Lyra seems pretty good. You said Sophie, not Sophie, so I'm sorry, I probably just mixed up my words. That's my fault. I guess we could lead on the Blight. So being able to cantrip is pretty real here. So let's see what they draw. I guess they're going to crack with map. I should have waited. I'm playing a little bit too fast for my own good. Because that's going to do nothing. Maul's been okay. How we just got forced? Yeah. It's obvious that their last card is not relevant, so... Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, well, getting Maul here is relevant now. They have mine. Oh no, no payoff. Okay. It's the thing about sort of Fire and Ice is like I feel like the wow, that card, that's really good. I feel like the trigger really never happens. Like I'd rather have the ability to fly over than anything else. So I think we fetch. Like, I feel like I've been playing this deck a lot, and the number of times I've triggered Sophie and be relevant is not that much. I'm going to target this Batterskull. Pitch Tower. So, I guess we just Blight here. Assassin's Trophy, sweet. So we have the outs. We have the outs. Power plant. Okay, that's redraw. One, two, three, four, five, six. So they have Wormcoil. Oh, 7. So they could Karn. Karn doesn't do anything. Wormcoil doesn't do anything. They need. Like, I don't think they have any outs here. Like, they need literally Oblivion Stone. And that doesn't do anything. See this Maul. Okay, Maul won the game here. Maul won the game. Just for all the marbles. I'm just going to make this Batter Skull have all the equipment. I don't. What happened in this game was I passed through my second turn, and I still won. That's what happened. We beat Tron. Thanks to Lithoform Blight. Thank you. That's good. Abzan's so good, you can just play against your bad matchups, skip through your third turn, and just doesn't matter. You know, it's just that good. I wish I could screenshot this, and like, I wish I wouldn't let me have a sword equipped to the germ, just so I have the ultimate flex on it. I think this is worth a screenshot too. So Lithoform Blight definitely pulled weight. I don't know if 4 is the right number, but just being able to cantrip and disrupt Tron is good. Like this is very 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 good. Versus Tron doing that is like, oh, should I auto? I mean, if we're hedging against exactly Tron, then sure. But if it's against Amulet, where like they have bounce lands, I can just just bring back the card that got Lithoform Blighted, then that's pretty bad. So like, I think it really depends on the meta. So like, Blight's very good against Tron, but not very good against Amulet. Blight versus 2, not after. Exactly. Like, I think really the debate is really between Lithoform Blight and Damping Sphere. I don't really think Fulminator Mage is needed anymore, just because I never equip an equipment to Fulminator Mage, and I just always more often than just blow up a Tron land if I need to, and then at that point I was just played Lithoform Blight, pay 2 mana and cantrip and draw a card, right? Yep, Luris is just great with Lithoform Blight, so okay, pretty good. Blight plus Luris is yeah, exactly why I think it's just better. It's just one of those things where I don't want Damping Sphere or Lithoform Blight. Because they both cost 2, so they both have that synergy with Luris, and they get blown up. It's just a matter of what. Even if one actually takes them off land, Fulminator versus Amulet and Control for sure. I don't even like Fulminator against Control, just because like, just playing a Pillage against Control just isn't that great anymore. I feel like that's they used to be like 4 years ago, but not anymore. 3-2 than me. I hope so. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get some more water, and then I'm gonna face the last match. So give me a second. As you're in literally my Twitch profile, the photo from the last well, that's my Twitch photo. Huh? I'm gonna play the last match. Sure. Huh? Yeah, I like the shirt. It's nice. D2. Control actually has win cons aside from beating you with a man land now, so pillaging the land is definitely not as impactful. I agree, because like more often, like when Blue Control's only win con was like Celestial Calling it, it's like, yeah, okay, like you take away the win con and it just slows them down. You can kind of recover, But now they have, but then like this was before Jace the Mind Sculptor. Now they have Jace the Mind Sculptor, and they're like, okay, cool, like you pillaged my land, I'll just draw another one. So there are games where you pillage them on turn 3 and they just don't have lands, but like you're probably winning the game anyway because control needs to hit their land drops. So it's like pillaging your land seems more relevant than ever with Field of the Dead. I don't think so because you're not keeping them off 7 lands with Uro in the format. Like that's just an arms race you're losing because they're going to hit their land drops and you're not going to be able to kill them before they hit 7 lands and get field and just get all the value off of it. So like that's why like I'd rather just be a little bit more proactive and have cards that fly over the zombie tokens if it gets to that point, like with the Maul or just have Sword and Feast Spam and have protection and just go under them. Like going like turn 1 discard, turn 2 Tarmogoyf, turn 3 Fulminator Mage just isn't good anymore because you fulminate them on turn 3 and then their turn 3 they still just like they can. Well, I guess they can't Uro if you get them on turn 3, but then they have like Growth Spiral, right? So like if they have Growth Spiral, then literally doesn't matter if you pillage them. Like it doesn't affect them that much. It's just times have changed in Modern where like the fulminating a control matchup just isn't good. But blowing up the field doesn't like. I feel like they saved like they only run 2 fields, right? Like for them to like have it early on just is not worth it. I was actually kind of playing like a game where like, I was wondering if I should have whatever like surgical effect there is and just name Field of the Dead. I feel like that. I was thinking of that cyber plan. I don't know if it's like Lost Legacy or like whatever cards can name a non-basic land. I might just try that and just name Field of the Dead because then the only win con they have left is Uro, and you can beat Uro. This hand is pretty bad. But I think I'm going to keep it. We have turn 1 discard. You can just come at the end if you want. Or now, it's up to you. Okay. Oh, so we're against like... So it's just like Death Shadow, essentially, again. I think Dylan Hovey, like, played a deck with like Hellhound. I wonder if this is like the same deck. So we can go turn 1 Thoughtseize. We can hopefully trophy something and then like get them with this Liliana if we need to. I guess we just take this Hellhound and then just leave them with just the Hellhound. I mean, they have a Street Wraith, so they could probably draw. They have literally have 2 draws essentially. It would be nice to have a black source though. So we're gonna take 4. Hopefully they just pass the turn. I don't have a threat. They do. Scourge is pretty scary. We need a black source. Thank you. Hopefully this Veil can just take over. We trophy the Scourge. Hopefully they don't have another creature. And then we can Liliana minus the Hellhound, and then we can go. I guess we kind of need a Bauble to go off. This hand would be a lot better on the play. They had me honestly, if they had oh, they just had the Bauble, sure. Sweet. Oh, you're right. You're right. You are 100% correct. That's just me not playing around, ever play against Hellhound before. You are 100% correct. Thank you for pointing that out, Iceberg Streams. You are very correct. Hopefully draw a bauble here. Just so we can get some value out of those lures. Uh-oh. Yeah, because that 2 life is definitely relevant here. Attacking the Liliana. Oh, no attack with Liliana. They didn't fetch basics. So you're right. That I didn't take the extra 2. Ooh. Come at me. They don't have basics. I remember Dylan making a tweet saying he's like, oh yeah, who needs basics or something. So they actually don't have basics. So this trophy is actually just a 2 mana Vindicate at instant speed. Huh. Is shocked here. Push. Great draw. Discard. Pitching the Inquisition. So they have nothing left. So now we play this Lurrus. Hopefully they don't draw another removal spell. So they have 2 draws. If they attack with a Swiss Sphere on the Zoliana, I'm just going to let it go. I'm not going to block with the Solaris. Because I'm not really that scared of this Swiss Sphere. I mean, this Maul seems pretty relevant now, because then like, I can equip the lures. Seems like it's going to be pretty close. If they attack the Liliana, I'm going to push it, and if they have another threat, we can just minus the Liliana. So we'll see. If they have Bolt, that'd be interesting. I have a newest. It seems like an interesting loop entry with Nightmare or Run. I think the new Nestas just kind of just doesn't do enough, especially at 4 mana. Wait, so let's pull it up for reference. As our opponent is in the tank. And our opponent has obviously has something, it's just a matter of what. So open image, a new tab. Oh god, I picked like the smallest one. Hold on. Oh my god. There's not a good high quality picture yet. Bold is targeting Lurrus. Sure. I'm gonna push the Swiss Sphere because they end up having a follow-up there, it doesn't matter. Please. Bobble. I guess I'll play this Maul now. And we'll bobble that on upkeep. Become immense. And that's good to know for future. Teamer Battle Rage, nice. Here you go, this is a better one. I just feel like it doesn't do enough for 4 mana, and it's like the landfall triggers kind of whatever. Like, if I want a 4 mana 3/3 with haste, it's like I can see a lot of better options, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like when you're playing 4 mana for a planeswalker, it's like you need it to be very, very good that just takes over the game. And I think Nissa just doesn't do that. Obviously, it's good against mid-range mirrors, but it's just like I don't think that's where you want to be. Assassin's Trophy. I think since we know that they have Teamer Battle Rage in hand, we can just get the Stoneforge Mystic. Matter, do we get a Batter Skull or a Sword? They have a removal spell for the Batters for the Stoneforge Mystic. The Sword doesn't really do anything anyway, so they can just get Batter Skull here. I think with Knight of Reliquary would be cute just because you can trigger a Landfall at will, so maybe you're alright, and you can have like Elvish Reclaimer. I don't know if you're familiar with like Francisco and his like Titan Vial deck, but I can see Titan Vial playing the new Nissa and splashing black if it can. I think that'd be cute. So they still have TBR in hand. And we just have Trophy. I'm sure that you can have a deck built around it. It's just like for 4 mana, I feel like I wanted to do more, which is kind of sad. Sure. I feel like Veil of Summer just isn't good against this deck. So to answer your question in a more constructive manner, Ice Bear Streams, I think you can probably build like a like Value Town-esque deck like Francisco's and have Nissa and just have that be very, very good just as a top end threat. I just don't think it fits well into like BGX, I guess. Excuse me. I think BGX is just where it's okay. Like literally any value planeswalker is just gonna naturally be good against BGX. So it's like, like even like the 4 mana Vraska, like that card's good. And like if I had to pick between Nissa and Vraska, I would pick Vraska just because it has the highest upside in terms of it being a abrupt decay removal spell, somewhat of a value equal card that can kind of scry better. Like I feel like that card is just better. For mid range. But is there a deck that could potentially house it and build around it? Probably. It's just this is from looking at it from a BGX standpoint, I don't think it fits well in this deck. And that's kind of how I am looking at it, just because like looking at a brand new deck, it's hard to say if it's a good card just because I've never experienced that kind of deck, right? So I don't want to just discount it. Oops, I want this to be exclusives. But could like can I say that is there potential? Like probably. Like I think it can be. Do I want to see it? Yeah, I think it'd be a cool deck. It's just like what colors do you want? Do you want to go Jund with Ren, or do you want to go Abzan with Knight? I think that's a question you have to ask yourself. But it's one of those things you're like, would you rather just go Naya and not have Nissa? Like that could also just be potentially better too, right? So this hand has all the lands in it, but we're on the draw, and we just need to not draw any lands anymore, and this hand's pretty good, so I'm just going to keep it. I feel like there could be a lot worse 6s than a removal spell to a 2-drop. So. Uro actually is just probably just better. Like if you want like Sultai Uro with Nissa as the top end, that seems pretty good to be honest. If they attack the Sphere and they don't do anything, I'm just gonna take it. So they cast Inquisition off the Overgrown Tomb. Makes me think that they don't have Veil of Summer in hand for one. Which makes it feel pretty good. Now they have their choice of one of two drops, and they take the Stoneforge Mystic. Seems like a good call. Maul. Well, if this Tarmogoyf lives, this Maul equipping that Tarmogoyf seems pretty good. It just turns into almost a 2-turn clock. But they have the... Ooh, they bolt. They bolt me. Seems like a waste. Why would they Inquisition take the Stoneforge Mystic and then have bolt in hand? I feel like they should just bolt Stoneforge unless they're really scared of equipment. That kind of means that they don't have a threat, but they do. Death Shadow. Hilarious. Guess we just play this Laris with no value, which is really awkward. In this situation, Maul is probably better than Sword of Fire, just because the equip is just instant and it just gives us more evasion. They have one card left too, so they themselves also have to be kind of careful. Death Shadow, sure. Sweet. Now we get the value off Stoneforge Mystic. It's pretty decent. Get the Sword of Feast and Famine. Okay, Scholar Shrine tapped. Pass turn. Ooh, that fetch is good for them. Christ. What do we do? They could go to 8. Take 5 plus 7 is 12. So if all they have is the foothills, they could just attack with one Death Shadow and it's not good enough. And we take 5. I could probably just play Maul on Tarmogoyf. Interesting. They know about the sword. So I think I just block this. And try to preserve our life total. And then we can just play sword equip. And then we can go sword, equip, Luris, attack, and then untap. Yeah, that's why next turn I'm going to play sword, equip Luris, attack, untap, bring back Stoneforge Mystic, and equip the sword to the other Tarmogoyf. So we'll see what they do here. Yeah, because we can play sword, equip Luris, attack. They go to 5. Untap, play Sophie, and then equip sword to another. If they have bolt to equip, then we're kind of screwed anyway. Maybe then in that sense, maybe we should equip to Tarmogoyf and attack. That way we can untap. But then if they have the bolt that way, then we're screwed anyway. So either way, this Luris has to live for this to work. So let's play the sword. Just trying to figure out if yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Oh no. Veil of Summer. Nice. We'll play Stoneforge Mystic. Get Batter Skull. It also shrinks the Scourge, which is actually kind of funny. They draw Bolt. They can bolt the Stoneforge Mystic. We block here. So maybe it's best to just equip Stoneforge Mystic on the Tarmogoyf. Or maybe it's best to just equip Stoneforge Mystic on a Stoneforge Mystic. Equip Sword of Piece of Advantage on Stoneforge Mystic so then it doesn't die to Bolt. We are dead to TBR either way, yeah. But if I equip the Tarmogoyf, maybe it's better just to equip Tarmogoyf. Francisco, how's it going, buddy? I think it's best if I just equip Tarmogoyf. If they have Bolt, they have Bolt. We still don't die. That hurts, Francisco. That hurts me. think I equip Tarmogoyf here. Because if they have Bolt, they don't win anyway. And then if we need a block with the Tarmogoyf, we can block, and then we still kill him on the crackback. Versus like if we equip the Stonecore Mystic with the sword, it doesn't do anything. So I think we just go with this here. Hope they have nothing. And then... Okay. So now they have 10/10 shadows. Scary. So... Right click and see. If they have T-Bar, we're screwed. There's no way around that. Just block here. Yay. The good old Abzan 3250. Love it. Love to see it. Okay. I guess to recap this league, the Lithoform Blights were pretty good against Tron. That was pretty decent. I accidentally skipped through my third turn because good old Spire Space distracted me, and we still somehow won that game postward thanks to 3 Lithoform Blights. That's absurd. So I don't know how many is correct, but I'm definitely cutting this Veil somewhere on the sideboard. I just don't like Veil right now in this setup. So this could really be anything. So it's going to be back to the drawing board of what I want with this slot to be. I do like the second engineer explosives. The Maul is okay. I don't know if it's good enough. Like, just being able to equip on 3 mana is really, really, really good. So I'm gonna... The jury's still out on the Maul. Is it better than Sword and Fire and Ice? It's hard to say, just because, like, Sword and Fire and Ice really doesn't protect anything except Lightning Bolt, which +2/+2 more often than not, it gets everything out of Bolt range. And then the protection from blue, like not getting Jace bounce, I guess, is kind of relevant, but that hasn't been noticeable at all. I think the tempo play of 3 mana equip is kind of nice, so I'm still going to try it out. I'm still going to test this out next league. But I think this Bala Ged recovery is just absolute ass. I'm just going to have a second Hexdrinker. I think if I had the second Hexdrinker, it would have won me the Jeskai mid-range matchup. So really the only change main is the Stoneforge Mystic for the... the Sword and Fire and Ice for the Maul. And then in the sideboard, I do like the Lithoform Blights. It's just a matter of how many we want. As I mentioned earlier, like Lithoform Blights are better against actual Tron and E-Tron, but not against Amulet, because then they can just bounce land whatever landing on an enchantment. That being said, like if it does get bounced, if we have Lurrus in play, just bringing it back and being able to cantrip is pretty good. So we'll see how it goes. I think the jury's still out on the Maul, like I said, but I think the Lithoform Blights has shown a lot of potential. So we'll see how it goes. I think my next stream will be Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, so I hope to see you guys then. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate everyone hanging out. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. If you guys want to support the channel, you guys can, like I said, follow me on Twitch. Thank you, Icebear Strange, for the follow. I really, really, really appreciate it. So if you want to support the channel, like I said, you can follow me on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitter. That's when I post. When I stream, I don't really have a consistent schedule. I've been more consistent on streaming on Tuesdays and one of the weekend days. So it's hard for me to predict, just because of just life, right? So that's kind of my schedule. But follow me on Twitter if you want more updates on when I stream. And you guys can look at my YouTube channel for more Abzan content. I've been streaming this deck a lot. But other than that, I really appreciate everyone for tuning in. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope you guys have a nice rest of the weekend. Let's spread the love on a raid here. If anyone has any suggestions on who you guys want me to raid, I'm all ears. I tend to like to just raid people who have not that many viewers, just because I know I have a bunch of people who spread the love to me, and I don't have that many viewers. I don't. I have 22, which is pretty decent for today. Um, I guess I have to spread the love to my boy Spider Space. I rated him last time, and he just finished. So hopefully he just started. He was in my chat earlier, so spreading the love here. Waiting for it to load so I can kind of tune in right when. Hopefully he has no ads. Perfect. Other than that, I really appreciate everyone for tuning in. Hope you guys can take it easy, and I'll hope to see you guys on Tuesday. Take it easy, guys. Bye.